gentlemen, to the BFNL Netball Show for another week. Fantastic to be joining you once again to go through all of the netball happenings within the Ballarat Football and Netball League. Shaun Kelly's my name, joining me as always with a schmick new hairstyle this week. In the co-host chair, AFL Goldfields Netball Manager Kim Bailey. Looking pretty good there this week, Kimmy.
Oh, thanks, Shawnee. Yeah, needed a bit of a catch-up job on the old GT stuff that was happening there, and it gives me a chance to wear some of my many beanies that everyone knows that I love.
You'll need them this week. It's going to be snowing and sleeting and just terrible weather throughout the week, so definitely a beanie week.
So 2 days of snow predicted, but I think the weekend's looking pretty good at 15 both days. I think down this way, we're in Arnold's Creek, but I think it'll be still pretty cold up Ballarat way.
I think it will be indeed, but 15 degrees I can cope with that. That's only shorts weather at this time of the year.
It's a heat wave for Ballarat.
Certainly is, but let's have a look at the past 7 days in the Ballarat Football Netball League netball competition, starting with what was ended up being a ripping game between Sunbury and Ballarat on the weekend. Sunbury got the win like a lot of people expected, but they took some work to get there because Ballarat really gave them a run.
Yeah, Ballarat had a great game. I actually saw the last quarter of this game, and it was an absolute ripper. Ballarat actually went into the last quarter 1 goal up, so that's how close it was. Sunbury jumped them at the start, and then they pulled back Ballarat, and it was 29 all at half time.
Yep.
And then with some really good play, they got to 1 goal up. So Kelly Moran had a really good game, and she was right up there, and in the first 3 quarters, my understanding was, and controlled the game. Cherie Cunningham also had a really good game, and they combined really well. But from the last quarter, Beck Anstey was absolutely outstanding, and she took 3 extremely well-timed intercepts at really crucial times of the game, and actually changed the momentum of the whole game.
Which is what you want from your defenders in those close games, isn't it?
Yeah, and I chatted briefly to Lisa Battistello just via text, and she said it was an absolute ripper game, and she was really pleased with the result. She would have loved the win, of course, but it just shows that Ballarat can match it with these big clubs. So it was a great result, great game. Chris Stanley had an absolute cracker again, and feeding well with Amy Starzer as well. But yeah, really good game. So I really think that the pressure in that last quarter, the younger girls in the ring for Ballarat were just maybe a little bit outsmarted in some respects as well. Amy Starzer was in from Rupro and played a really good game, held nice and tight for that front feed, and that's most probably again was one of the factors that got them over the line.
Really good work by Sunbury, and as we talk about our next talking point, which is having a look at the ladder this week, you can see that what that game's done this week is basically kept the status quo for the ladder the way that it was the week before, with Sunbury winning. They didn't then fall back to the pack. Obviously, Ballarat then didn't gain a game on Redan and Sebastopol, who both lost on the weekend and both still sit inside the top 6. But it makes for some pretty key games coming up for all these teams now.
Yeah, I think the surprise loss that we didn't see coming was the Bass and Melton.
Yeah, that's right.
Thought that was
especially the week before. I saw Melton play, and they, in the second half, Lake Wendouree just completely outclassed them, and they didn't look in the same universe. And then they've come out this week, they've come out with a positive attitude, and they've done something that we would have expected a Melton side of earlier in the season to do.
Yeah, I watched the first half of this game, and I was extremely impressed with Melton. They looked a different team. They were nice and steady. They pulled some changes as well. Katie Kowalski started off in shooter. Worked okay, but then...
Halsey didn't put herself in the centre again,
No, not that I could see for the first half, but she actually pulled the move and put Jess Bartlett into goal shooter, and it actually just opened up the ring a little bit, so it was a really interesting game. For Sebas, they were most probably a little bit undisciplined on the day, gave away a lot of penalties, a lot of contacts, and I think that was most probably to their detriment in the end. They just lost a bit of control of the game. But, Melton did a great job, and it's really interesting when you look at this week's rounds, when you've got Sebas playing Ballarat for that fight for that...
6v7.
Yep, 6v7.
Touch more on that shortly, because that's a huge game.
East play Lakers. First and second.
First and third.
First and third, and then Sunbury and Redan. So what a crackerjack round we have.
It's going to be a great round of netball coming up. We'll touch on that very shortly, because before we do, as we do every week, it's time to announce the Stockland Wendouree Player of the Week for round 12 last weekend, Jimmy. Who was it?
Yeah, and I saw a couple of games this week, but sometimes there's a real game changer and someone who can just pull a game out of nowhere and change the result. And this week it was Sunbury's Rebecca Amnesty. She was amazing in that last quarter. As I said, the 3 or 4 timely intercepts that actually changed the game. And not easy intercepts. She was playing on Kelly Moran, and we know how good Kelly is and how tall she is. But it was just the timing and her reading of the play, and she's a really well-deserved winner of this award.
And that's been Beck's strength ever since I've started with these leagues as well that we cover. It's always been a strength, that timely intercept and the real strength down the court.
Yeah, and we know that the cream rises to the top, don't we? When the pressure is on, and you know her combination with Rachel Dobson is really working out well. But she just had a really great last quarter, and my understanding a really good game right through. But it was that last quarter that really impressed me.
The match winner on the weekend. Congratulations, Blocker. $25 Stockland Wendouree gift card coming your way. You'll mail that out, Jimmy?
Sure will.
Very good work indeed. Let's turn our attention, ladies and gentlemen, to round 13 this weekend in the Ballarat Football Netball League. Rivalry round as some of the league's biggest rivals take each other on. And as we said before, as Kim said when we were looking through the ladder, some absolutely huge games of netball this weekend. And in my mind, none bigger than the game at Alfred and Oval. Ballarat taking on Sebastopol, because basically with the way that the season pans out after this is an elimination final, I believe. I believe the winner of this game plays finals. The loser is in the Jimmy Barnes position, standing on the outside looking in.
That's shocking.
It is. But that's the humour that I come with sometimes. Sometimes we go good, sometimes people don't like it. But I bet you there's a few people out there in TV land who are laughing right now.
And some people won't even know who that song was.
Correct.
Yeah, this game is elimination final, you're right. Just seeing Ballarat, they come to play the other day, and I think if they kept that form up, they could nearly knock off anyone. Having seen both teams, if Sebas can come with some more disciplined netball, they can beat anyone as well.
That's correct, and they've shown that this year.
But they just have to rein their enthusiasm in some ways. Look, this could go anyway. I don't know which way to go to tell you the truth.
It's a toss of a coin, isn't it?
It is, but I think I'm going to go with Sebastopol. I just think that they'll try and bounce back after last week. And sometimes too, when you come off a really close game like Ballarat have, you do have a bit of a slide.
Do they have the height of defence to match Kelly Moran?
That might be a problem.
I know in the past Adriana Can has played on Kelly Moran. I think they'd be robbing Peter to pay Paul in this scenario.
She's not tall enough, is she?
And they need her in goals at the moment, I believe, as well.
You're swaying me. What way are you going?
I'm going with Ballarat.
All right, I'll stick with Sebastian.
Just because I think, as you said, Ballarat have played some good netball in the last few weeks. That Kelly Moran thing, she is so tall.
Yeah.
And obviously, their mid-quarters feed her so well as well. But if she's got 4 inches on Nikki Allen around and Banner, they'll use that to their advantage.
But that was an issue the other day when the pressure went on the feeders to get that ball into in the last quarter. The delivery wasn't there, so they have to get that delivery right, and that's on the Sebas defenders, and they've got to be in the play. They have to be in the play. They can't be out of play for obstructions or contacts. Look, they just need to fire. I think they will rebound after last week. I'm comfortable with Sebas.
And I think this is going to be an absolutely ripping game of netball down at the Alfred and Oval. As is the next one we're going to talk about at the Eastern Oval. East Point taking on Lake Wendouree. East Point back in action after the week off. Lake Wendouree doing a pretty good job against Darley last week. They've won their last 3 in a row now, Lake Wendouree. They're getting some form back. They've got Mel Allen back in shooter, who makes such a difference to them as well. If ever they're going to challenge East Point, I reckon this might be the week.
I can't agree with you, Shaun.
That being said, I don't think they'll win.
No. Look, Easter are an amazing game. We've always speak about Caitlin McLeod, because we know what a great player is. She didn't play the week before, I think.
That's correct, and they still had an easy win.
Yeah, so, you know, they've just got strength all over the court. Amazing mid-court, amazing goal ring, and great defence. So, I just don't know if Lakers have the strength in defence enough. I know they put Molly Boyle there last week.
They did.
So I think I have to stick with East.
Big fortnight for the Lakers as well, because they've got East Point and North Ballarat sitting in the next fortnight. If they want to keep that 3rd spot on the ladder, they probably need to win one of these two, just to show us that they're not just the they're going to get to the finals, and like if they finish in third spot, well and good, they win that first final, they go through to a second semi and get the double chance.
That's the problem, though.
But they don't want to go bang bang after that.
It's not a problem, but that's the thing. You know, sometimes when you finish in third, you think, Ripper, we've got sixth. But you look at the teams that are in sixth spot and you go, oh,
exactly.
This is a game that we could lose.
It's plenty of years where sixth has beaten third. We saw that in the local footy league last year. Actually, down this way in the AFL, sixth beat third, and sixth ended up almost making the grand final.
Yeah, so anything can happen.
Exactly right. Some big tasks coming up, East Point. Give me this one, East Point for me as well. Melton South taking on Melton at the Rec Reserve this week. The young Panthers just couldn't quite get the job done in what was really a winnable game for them against Bacchus Marsh, whereas, as you said, very impressed with Melton last week, and you'd think that Melton would start favourites in this one, especially if they can bring what they did last week.
Yeah, I was really impressed, super impressed. And when I see them, I think, how haven't you won more games during the season, really? But it just clicked for them, and I'll, just with their great game last week, I'll have to go for Melton.
Yeah, Melton in this one as well. Pretty big game at Clark Oval this week as well. Sunbury taking on Redan, and much like in the footy, it doesn't matter where these two teams are on the ladder, they always tend to be competitive games when these two teams play. You would know that firsthand from having coached against Redan, and even with Redan with a couple of players out, they will bring everything they have to this game.
Yeah, and it's a really special weekend for Sunbury Footy Netball Club this week. It's, I think, the second anniversary of Albert Marie, who's passing.
Yep.
So
MH17 disaster, unfortunately.
Big day of commemorations down at Clark Oval. The girls would love to win this one for James. So I just think Sunbury looked too good the other day, and they're coming into the right end of the season with some positives. They've got Karen Meredith, who was there on the weekend.
That's
coaching them, taking the pressure off the Sunbury players to make those decisions. Redan still have a few away. I noticed Erin Riley played on the weekend, which is a great get for them too. It's a good get. But I think Sunbury might be too strong at home.
Redan actually gave North City a little bit of worry at times on the weekend as well, from all reports too. North really had to dig deep to get the win. So,
but Redan have done that the whole season.
They have.
They have pushed these big clubs the whole season, just haven't been able to get over the line. So, you know, Talia will be really impressed, a little bit disappointed with those wins, but you know, they've done a really great job, Redan, this year.
They have indeed. I don't think they'll get this one, but they'll get mighty close, as they always do, against Sunbury. In the last game for this week, Darley up against Bacchus Marsh, the local derby, of course, in the Marsh. This is going to be another interesting one, because Bacchus Marsh got their second win for the season last week, and unlike their first game, where they got over the line by 4 goals in their first win, this was comfortable. This was 24 goals, and they controlled it from go to woe. Darley, unfortunately, against the Lakers last week, couldn't quite get the job done. Bacchus Marsh will come again thinking they can win this game.
Oh, I think they can too. If you look at their goalers, 412 goals for the season compared to Darley's 364. So they've got the power there.
They do, which is Ali Simon's put on, because she's doing a great job.
And they're 40 goals up on better in defence than what Darley is. I'm going with stats this week. I'm going with Bacchus.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the home ground and know that Darley, on their home court, they defend it fiercely. They still do have some very good players in their mix.
It'll be a ripper this game.
Be a great game.
Anyway.
Could indeed. It'll be a great game. It'll be a great week of netball all across the Ballarat Football Netball League. There's really not too many dud games this week. They're all going to be rippers. It is indeed. So make sure you join us next Wednesday afternoon when we're talking all about exactly what's happened in this round of netball, because we can't wait to get to next week to be able to sum this one up for you here on the BFNL Netball Show. Kim, thanks for joining us once again.
Thanks, Shaun.
And thank you for joining us again. We'll see you next week right here on the BFL Netball Show.